Welcome back to the After Hours podcast. I'm your host, Francisco. Co-host today, I have Joey, and we're joined with Geoff Scott from Firefly in Toledo. What's going on, man?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me. Exciting times, huh?
Oh, yeah. So, Firefly is new to the Toledo area. Give us a little background here.
Well, my partners and I wanted to create this vibe, so we did a lot of business in Vegas together, and we love walking down the strip in Vegas and seeing these cool-looking places with all the lights and the sound and people just up at their tables, like swaying to the music, kind of just like a really cool vibe. And so we thought to ourselves, why don't we put something in downtown Toledo that when you're walking down the road, you look in these big, beautiful glass windows and you see something straight out of Vegas or Philadelphia or Chicago. And then what's funny is we have so many people that come here and say, this is really a big city vibe place for a small town. Like one lady told me last week, I feel like I'm downtown Philadelphia at a place there, not Toledo, Ohio. So that was the goal. So mission accomplished, I think, right?
Yeah, for sure. So how long were you out in Vegas?
Well, I did business out there for probably 5-6 years. Okay. And on and off, yeah.
Right on.
What were you doing in Vegas mostly?
Yeah, I had a radio show there called the Senior Bodyguard Radio Show where I would protect senior citizens from scams and abuse. So my backstory is my grandmother, I'm a retired cop, and my grandmother was abused in a nursing home years ago by a nurse's aide. So I started this home health care company called Friends of the Family Home Health Care, and it still exists till this day, and I don't own it anymore. And then I went to a radio station with an idea to have my own radio show protecting seniors with scams, and they accepted it. And then I'm in like 18 different markets with that radio show. So it was a great run.
Yeah, man, you got a great voice for radio. So
I've always hated my voice too. When I hear my voice, I don't know. Do you guys have that problem too? Do you hate your voices?
It can definitely be hard for us to, when we're going back and listening to the old episodes, I hear myself talk and I'm like, but everybody else says it's decent, so
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't like the sound of my voice.
No, see, and I like the sound of your voice, and you probably like the sound of my voice, but nobody ever likes the sound of their own voice.
It's one of those things because you never hear yourself, right?
No, I know, yeah.
So
until you do.
Firefly, why Toledo?
Well, my partners and I grew up in Toledo, and we moved. A couple of us partners live downtown. Actually, I've been downtown for 4.5 years. Right. So I've been going to a lot of the same restaurants and bars. You know, the good thing about living downtown is if you want to go out and get a couple drinks, you just have to walk home.
Yep.
Or stumble, whatever you choose that night, I guess. But you don't have to drive and put anyone in jeopardy. And so we've been to a lot of the restaurants and bars downtown, and they're all really, really great. But we thought, you know what? There's nothing with that vibe. There's places that have great food. There's places that have great service. But no one has that, like, you walk in and the music's just thumping while you're eating and the lights are going and that, you know, the big city vibe we talked about. So that's why. And then we came across this location right across from Fifth Third Field. I mean, we're literally 30 yards from the Mud Hens outfield fence.
Yep.
And so you can see the Mud Hens, especially the outfield and some of the infield, actually from inside Firefly. So then our idea became, okay, when we took the space over, it was just one big room. There was no furniture, there was no ductwork, it was just one big square. Mm-hmm. And so the idea is we have these huge windows. Let's not put up any walls in here that will block anyone's views. We want everyone to see people walking by on the streets and see the Mud Hens playing. And so that's why we made our kitchen out of glass, because you can see all the way through the kitchen straight to the field. So I thought that was kind of a cool feel.
And did you guys look for any other locations other than this one, or did this one kind of just fall into your lap?
You know, actually, this one just really fell into our lap. We were at dinner one night eating and talking about opening a place in downtown Toledo. And the next thing I know, it's like 8 months later, and I get a call, hey, we found a great location. I'm like, what? So it was just one person introducing another person, and they had a few offers down here on what people wanted to do, but then they took ours because they're like, yeah, that the owners of the building were like, that sounds like the most fun idea to do.
And for anybody listening, Fifth Third, that is the minor league team for the Detroit Tigers. So it's a baseball affiliate. Fifth Third Field holds. Do you know how many seats it holds?
I think it's 10,000.
Yeah, it's a pretty big stadium for a minor league team.
It's great.
So, and that's just one of the big sports that we have going here in Toledo, that and the walleye. So,
yeah,
it's always a destination. So, do you have any experience in the food and beverage industry before opening this up?
No. I'll tell you, I've had some really crazy jobs in my time, but none of them were restaurant related. I started off, the closest I came to that was I was a bouncer for years, and I joined the military. I had a parachuting accident, broke my legs. So then I ended up working in the Presidential Honor Guard in the United States Army. So I was always like working at the White House or Pentagon or doing ceremonies at those places. The Tomb of the Unknown Soldier is part of the 3rd U.S. Infantry, the Presidential Honor Guard. And then from there, I got a really cool job wrestling on TV with the WWF. It was WWF back then, not WWE like it is now. So then I did that for a while and retired. I wrestled for years. I was a cop. I became a nurse years ago. Started a home care agency. I've done like a lot of crazy stuff. Bodyguard for Prince in Saudi Arabia. Just crazy stuff that like people are going to think, boy, he's full of crap on this podcast right now talking about this stuff. But no, I've had a really blessed life and really been lucky. But the restaurant industry, no. I was supposed to be retired on the beach in Sarasota, Florida when my daughter was going to college last year. And instead, these guys came to me with this idea and wanted me to be the managing partner. And I'm like, man, it's great because we have so many people in here and it's so successful. And every time I'm on Facebook, Firefly this, Firefly drinks, Firefly food, the service is great. So I love it. But sometimes I'm working 70 hours a week and I'm thinking of the beach in Sarasota.
Yeah, we actually just got back from 2 months in Sarasota.
Did you really?
Yeah, we stayed on Siesta Key.
Siesta Key Beach is where I was supposed to be, the white sands.
Yep, that's funny that you mentioned that.
Why did you go to Sarasota for 2 months?
And kind of just we were hanging out a little bit, doing a lot of business. There's not a lot of tech down there, so we were kind of trying to fill the niche. A lot of networking events. It was nice to kind of just get out of the climate around here and go to networking events and meet new people.
Isn't that great at your age? I don't know how old you guys are, but you look pretty young. And to be at your age, to be able to go to Sarasota, Siesta, one of the most beautiful beaches in the world for 2 months. When I was your age, I couldn't afford to do that. So, I mean, this business you guys are in is really cool that you can do that kind of stuff,
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, it's a great atmosphere down there.
But I was not lucky enough to go.
Oh, you didn't go?
No, I chose not to go. Joe and I, we hung back, and the other 4 guys, they went. So someone had to maintain the operations here in Toledo.
Wow,
so
that's awesome. How's the nightlife there in Siesta Key?
We might have to cut this part out. Yeah, it's pretty nice. There's still a lot of people out. It's pretty much like everything's normal down there.
But do they have a cool nightlife, like restaurants and bars?
Yeah, I would say Siesta Key only has its few little bars. The 3 or 4 bars on Siesta are packed till 2 a.m. every night. Then actual Sarasota downtown, all the restaurants are full, but they're not like super packed. Overall, though, I think Sarasota is really nice because it's good for 21-year-olds and it's good for 50, 60-year-olds. And I think that's why a lot of people like gravitate towards that area.
Yeah, there's a good mix and there's not a lot of trouble. And yeah, it's a cool place.
Exactly.
What was the best part, Joey?
The food.
Yeah?
Salmon, tuna, all fresh. It's hard to beat.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm jealous, man.
But going back to you, Geoff, so you've had a lot of crazy jobs. Which one was your favorite before starting and operating Firefly?
My home healthcare company was probably my favorite because that was kind of after my grandmother being abused, and so I kind of dedicated that to her, and we helped the company still exists today. They help senior citizens in their homes, and that's really rewarding. And so I think that one, the most fun one was obviously wrestling.
Yep.
Because you're traveling a different city all the time, and you there's parties, and you get to meet all the people you watched on TV, and it's so that was like the fun thing, to watch myself on TV on Saturday morning. And it's all pre-recorded, a lot of it. So that was kind of cool, but yeah.
And when you were a bouncer in Vegas, did you get to any of the clubs like XS, Dre's, anyone's like that? Did you get to experience those?
Yeah, matter of fact, I still have a lot of contacts in Vegas. So anytime we go to Vegas, we don't even wait in line for those places. We just get right in.
Yep.
Yeah, great service, right?
No, that's nice because some of those, I was there and unfortunately I didn't really know anybody at the time, and it was like an hour hour and a half wait at least for each one.
Yeah. Matter of fact, we've got a drink here at Firefly based off a drink that we found in Vegas.
Okay.
So here we call it the Starlight Starbright, and it's used with a buzz button flower. So one of my partners and I, we would always go to Vegas and we'd go out and drink, and at 2-3 in the morning we'd usually end up at like Cosmopolitan Casino at the Chandelier Bar in there, and they had this buzz button drink. It was $25 a drink in Vegas. It's only 14 at Firefly. But so it's they bring you this drink, and the drink is blue, and then they bring you a shot of another liquor, and then they bring you this flower, and it's this yellow flower with this green stem. It's called the buzz button, and you put it in your mouth and you chew it, and it's terrible. It tastes like a dirty carrot. I love, and I tell everyone it's terrible too, and I love seeing the women's faces when they're chewing this thing, and I'm like, come on, you wimp, just chew it up, let's go. So you got to swish it around in your mouth for like 30 seconds, get all the oils of the flower in there, right? Swallow the bud, then you take the shot, you pour it in your drink, it turns from blue to red, and then every drink you take for the next 10-15 minutes feels like 10,000 pop rocks going off in your mouth. Your tongue's numb, you're laughing. It's just a fun, unique drink. So,
wow.
Yeah, we sell a lot of those here.
Definitely need to try that. I mean, that sounds interesting. I don't think I've ever really heard anything like
unreal.
it.
I've never heard that.
Every single night I'm at tables telling people how to do these drinks and laughing at them when they're drinking this flower, and then when the pop rocks start going off, I start laughing more, and yeah.
So is that one of your favorite drinks?
Yeah, I don't drink a lot of drinks with sugar because I used to have diabetes years ago, so I try and stay clear from that. So it's usually like some kind of bourbon for me. But I always taste all of our craft cocktails, and even though some of them are a little sweeter, but I have to know what they taste like, and that's one thing, and like everyone raves about our drinks. I think we could get rid of the food sometimes, and everyone would still come in and just over the drinks, and our food's awesome. So yeah, we got good drinks.
What's your go-to bourbon?
I don't know. I like all kinds of expensive bourbons, unfortunately. Woodford Reserve. I always fall back on Jack Daniels because I'm a squire of Jack Daniels, so I own like a 1-inch by 1-inch piece of property there when you're a squire. Okay. And then when I go there, I get special tours and special tastings with this card, and I have a plot number there, so that's cool. So I do like whiskeys and bourbons. There's a new bourbon out that I like. It's got a really cool bottle. It's called Legion. Okay. And it's a good tasting bourbon. So that's one of the great things about being one of the owners of Firefly is I get to taste some really good drinks and eat some really awesome food.
Right on.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you were kind of talking about your cocktails a bit, and I saw on your Facebook page you guys have 15, 20 like crazy different cocktails. What was the inspiration behind like all these, and how did you like get them to the point of getting them on your menu?
So we did this. We did drink tastings last year for about 4 months straight. And I think it was about 80 people total, and we took them ideas that we had. And then we gave them notes, and they took notes for an hour while they tasted all of our cocktails. They rated them if they loved them, if they hated them. And then we found a mixologist, and we hired him to come here, and he comes up with the craziest. He's like an artist behind the bar. I mean, without the paintbrush and just using alcohol and simple syrups, and his creations are just amazing. And then the garnishes he uses, they look like they're straight out of Hawaii or some classy place in New York, or So it's really that like flair that no one else is doing around here. So and then the food it's just we started off it's saying we're a bar with bar food, and then that just went right out the window because everybody that comes in, everything they try, they absolutely love it. We have this food called fire sticks that we invented. So picture an egg roll without the usual egg roll contents. Okay. And then now picture Philly steak and cheese inside of it, dipped in beer cheese. Then we have a Southwest chicken with chicken and corn and onions. And then, so we created our own egg rolls essentially, and we call them fire sticks.
Nice.
And so those are awesome. The flatbread pizzas are amazing. You can build your own flatbreads. So I usually get for dinner here the caprese salad, because it's tomatoes, cheese, and I get steak with it and extra steak. And so no carbs in that, right?
Yep.
So one of the cooks the other day in the kitchen said, "You always get the caprese salad. Why don't you let me make you a caprese salad flatbread?" And I'm like, "What?" So I had a caprese salad flatbread. It was just like on a pizza. It was awesome. And then we got this meatball sub that I love. That's really thick bread. It's really super crunchy. Mm-hmm. And then, like, you know how women go crazy over mac and cheese?
Yep.
My daughter is one of them, and she's very particular with mac and cheese. And she said, "Dad, your mac and cheese is the best mac and cheese I've ever had. It's so gooey and so cheesy." And so I'm getting hungry and thirsty. We're going to start breaking out the bourbon and the food in a couple of minutes here.
All right.
Yeah.
Who's the creator behind all these dishes?
Well, we collaborated with a couple different people. We hired some consultants when we first started. A couple of the owners pitched in, and their wives pitched in, and it's been such a weird menu. It's totally different than when we started. I looked at the menu when we started this project, and compared that to the menu when we opened. Mm-hmm. There's hardly anything on it. It makes me laugh. I thought I had all these wonderful ideas. So we just call it international street food, and it's just if you went to Italy and you went to the cart and got flatbreads, or you went and got egg rolls at a street cart, or so it was supposed to be just fun, fast bar food, but it quickly turned into a place where people come for dinner. We thought they were going to come for drinks, and a lot of people do come for drinks, but we thought they were going to come for drinks and then eat some bar food. They're coming for the food and the drinks equally because it just turned into such great food. Not just saying that because I'm one of the owners. Believe me, I've gained 15 pounds since we opened because I cannot stop eating this stuff. Yeah.
That's hilarious. And the window, the on-the-fly window, was that a creation from the start, or is that something that came about a little further down the way?
Yeah, I like to tell people that I came up with that saying just to make my best friend and partner mad because he really came up with it. I hope he never hears this, and I'm admitting that he came up with it. But my partner Greg came up with on the fly and the arrow. And it's really cool because on the fly can mean mud hen fly balls coming over the fence, or on the fly food to go, and then we have a window right underneath the arrow where you can do takeout. You can come up. We're in the entertainment district. It's called the Dora district here in Toledo. So you can come up to the window, order a Jack Daniels, order a margarita, flatbread pizza, some mac and cheese, and keep walking right down the road with your alcohol, drinking it down the road. So that's pretty cool. I like that. I like seeing people walking down the road, eating and drinking and getting back to normal in Toledo and all over the place since all of this COVID stuff, So we're really looking forward to a good summer. Mm-hmm. We've got plans to build a 40-person patio out front, and we're going to have tables that are actually fire pits in the middle, but your plate's on the outside of the fire pit. Okay. So more just classy fire stuff and, stuff to make the crowd comfortable, and definitely more upscale, mm-hmm. but fun at the same time. Yep. Instead of fine dining, we call it fun dining. So,
oh yeah,
yeah.
Now Toledo needs more of that.
My partner came up with that one too. Don't tell him I said.
We'll cut it out.
Were you guys the first to do the drive-through, but like walking, picking up your food on the side of the road?
I think there's one other place downtown that does it.
Pizza Popolis, I think, or one of the
Home Slice.
Home Slice.
Home Slice has a window out front, but they don't advertise it a whole lot. It's kind of just there. And so that's why we put that arrow out, because we want people to know, hey, come up to this window and get your stuff. Yep. And then we bought this 6-passenger limousine golf cart. Have you seen that yet?
No, I haven't.
Around here? Oh, man. It's the only one like it anywhere. It's actually this limousine golf cart with doors and windows. It's black. It's got heat. It's got air. It's got radio and lights underneath it. It's all black, and it's painted in Firefly glow-in-the-dark paint. So as you run down the road at night, you can see Firefly all over. So with that idea, that was like, okay, when COVID was going, we were trying to be progressive in our thinking with COVID and what if people don't come out anymore, which it's not the case, because when we open at 5 o'clock, we're packed by 5:15 and usually on a wait by 5:30, especially on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we were thinking of ways that we could get food to people, get our product to people without them coming in. So we bought the golf cart, so we'll deliver food downtown. We'll pick you up, bring you here. We'll take you home. We'll take you to another bar or restaurant when you're done with here if you want. And it's free. It's just donations. So whatever you want to donate to whoever's driving the cart.
That's pretty baller. The only thing that's like kind of comparable, and it's not nearly like as upscale or as like elegant, is there's a shuttle that goes through Detroit. So like if you're going to like Red Wings games, Pistons games, in Detroit, they'll shuttle you around the city, take you to like Anchor Bar, take you like wherever after the game. So, kind of similar, but
that's cool.
No, it's not quite as unique as like the golf cart.
No, it's glowing, right? Yeah,
that's
sweet as hell.
Yeah, and then they drive around downtown, and it's not only an advertisement. But anyone that wants to ride anywhere, they get in, and then the driver recommends, "Hey, how about Firefly? It's a new place downtown. Oh yeah, let's go." And so they drop a lot of business off here too.
That's great for advertising. I didn't even think about something like that. It just is going down the street. People be like, "Oh, that's a Firefly golf cart."
Yeah. So, and actually, on the roof is Firefly also because all the high rises downtown, so people looking out can see Firefly on the roof driving down. Okay. So we even had that one covered. We tried to think of things here that nobody else was thinking of, including at the bar. So purse hooks for the ladies. Cell phone charging ports at the bar every 3 feet along
That's so awesome.
With purse hooks.
Cannot stress how many times I've been at the bar with like a 5% phone and been like, I wish there was just a charger.
Yeah, that's why we did it. And then the women are so used to going places in Toledo with no purse hooks that they don't even look for them. So I have to go up with, they have their purses on their laps and say, "Hey, we have purse hooks." "Oh God, you do. I love it. So
no, that's great. Yeah, Joey's one of those people that always has his phone at like 15% or lower.
Yeah.
You could definitely use that.
Yep. That's a lot of interesting. It's crazy how much the little small things kind of add up in the end to be like, to get that enjoyable experience.
Yeah. Well, and so we didn't do anything small scale here either. As you see, we're in this VIP room that we rent out for parties and wedding showers and lunch and learns, and we spared no expense in here. This looks like you walk straight into a greeting card with all the blues and plush, lush furniture, and So we tried to go above and beyond, even in the actual restaurant itself, which all of our hanging lights in there, I don't know if you saw them when you walked in. Yep. They're kind of hard to miss. They're all custom made and flown in from Israel. So, and they're so paper thin. Like if you think if you touch it so hard, it's going to break. And yet they flew all the way from Israel to here and not one of them broke. I couldn't believe it.
That's unbelievable. How did you find a manufacturer out there?
You know what? One of our partners, she has a real flair for design. I mean, she's actually a pediatrician in real life, but if she ever gives that up, she could be a designer full time because she designed this room. She designed the light. She's good at it. She's a great designer.
Oh, yeah. I love the gold trim in here on everything. Pretty
much. Yeah. Cool, right?
Yeah.
That's it. How much does this room cost to rent out for like a night?
So for lunch and learns, we do between $50 and $100 during the day. And then at night for private parties, we do anywhere between $1 and $250, depending on the amount of people. So then you get a server back here. You get a bartender back here. You get food brought back here the whole time.
That's very affordable.
Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, we want to keep it affordable for people, but then we also want to charge so we don't have people coming in and off the streets using it for free and damaging the place. So we wanted to charge something just because, usually people that come in with bad intentions don't want to pay for a room. They want them for free anyway. So
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm assuming this is pretty much booked every night as well then too?
Yeah, we just opened it like 10 days ago. Okay. So I've got like 8 bookings already for the next 4 weeks. Okay. So and so it's a nice kind of room too. If we don't have a party, we kind of use it as overflow so usually on a Friday, Saturday night, we open it at 4, and by 5 there's a wait, and by 5:30 there's like an hour and a half wait. And so we start sending people back here and getting them drinks, and we got speakers back here, music playing, fun vibe even back here, and then you go out there and you get the light show at night. The kitchen closes at 10 o'clock. We might be closing at 11 pretty soon, the kitchen, but then we stay open until 1. And so then we have like a laser light show out there that we plug in and turn on and turn the lights down low, get the dance music going a little bit, and fun vibes.
That's awesome.
How long have you guys been open?
We've been open like 2 weeks now.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah. Which is why I'm so exhausted. I'd like to get to the point where my general manager just comes in and kind of runs the place and us owners can have some fun and, make sure everything's going well, but still have fun and not do all the work. But, when you open a brand new space, it's just not feasible. No. It's a brand new business. We have lots of employees. We have lots of customers coming in. And, the owners need to, I think when owners walk away too early, then the restaurant has the potential for damage. And then I think you can never leave totally as an owner operator. It's I see and hear about all the problems with the corporate restaurants all over the country with the owners not being in there, and obviously they can't with so many locations.
Right.
So that's one thing that we try and do here is that personal touch, owner involvement. I'm walking around all night long, shaking hands, touching shoulders. How's the service? How's the food? Good vibes, and if there's any problems, I take care of them right away, and I make sure that I'm greeting everyone when they walk in and saying goodbye when they leave, and see you next time. So what's cool is we have people that are here every single night since we've opened. We've got probably 10 people that come in every single night. So great repeat customer.
That's all. I mean, that
says something. Yeah,
that's great. Like so early having the regulars.
Yeah,
that's so important. And since you guys just opened, what's one thing that you've learned along the way that you think could help other bar and restaurant owners?
Man, I'll tell you, I love people, and the best thing about this job is meeting new people and talking to people and seeing people that I haven't seen in ages. I mean, that stuff is awesome. But if you're going to open a place, you better know that everyone and their brother is going to give you advice. And it's all going to be different advice. If everyone knew how much advice I actually get in one night, sometimes I have people looking at me and I'm like, you know what? That makes good sense to me. And sometimes I'm thinking, I wish they would just drink their drink. I've heard this. So that's the challenging part. And then some people are always going to complain. You have the people that just come in to complain. We have a lady that comes in every week. She comes in every week. She loves the place. The first thing she does is complain when she comes in. We don't have this liquor. We don't have that liquor. It's always something different. But I'm glad she's coming. She's coming. She's spending money. She's happy after she leaves here. She just comes in. Maybe she has a bad day for her. She gets here and wants to complain. I don't know. Right. But so that's kind of challenging, is everyone telling you how to run the business. It's also the best thing, because I've made so many contacts. We needed new batteries for our golf cart. We needed batteries with lithium. And I'm talking to this dude the other night here, and he's having a drink, and I just said, what do you do for a living? Oh, I sell this new golf cart battery where you can get 70 miles in a night instead of 30. It's just stuff like that I think God lines people up in your path, and I meet all these cool people in here. So, it's been cool. It's been tiring. Sometimes in any business, the employees can be challenging. Whether it's showing up late or showing up not at all, or, and nobody knows that any of those issues happen, but in every restaurant industry, that was so we got a bunch of advice from other restaurant owners, successful restaurant owners, and they said your biggest headache is going to be staff not doing their job or not doing, so I'm thankful, because that really didn't happen to us. I mean, maybe a couple times, but we were able to find this all-star staff somehow. And we have this great base of people right now, and we're not having any issues. So I'm going to knock on some wood here, because it's a restaurant business. I don't have wood. It's a glass table. Oh, no. We're going to have employee issues tonight now. Great.
One of the cocktails I saw online was an old-fashioned that was smoked. And he has the glass on top of it, and it holds in all the aroma and stuff.
Yeah.
Where does that inspiration come from? That's just so unique.
That's our mixologist who came up with that. It's like this ball, and then we have this smoke gun. It started off as, we bought this $600 smoke gun.
Yo, I saw that too.
And you press the trigger and you put it inside the drink, and you start pulling back, and it leaves this huge smoke bubble on the top of the drink. And then you pop it, and the smoke goes in the drink, and it tastes like you have a smoked drink. So we look these things up online on YouTube, because we want cool stuff here that nobody else has. Yeah. Which is why we got that buzz button too. Okay. So yeah.
And the only other place we've ever seen anything like those drinks is a bar chef out in Toronto. Yeah, he owns a upscale place there, and he does some of the similar stuff, but we've never really seen anything like that in the Midwest area.
Well, you guys are going to have to come in and try these drinks, because they're killer, man. Yeah, they're good.
Definitely.
We will.
Yeah, no, the first time we'd seen any of this was probably just under a year ago. Bar chef up in Toronto. He's like a world renowned like mixologist. Like he does all this like crazy stuff. And I had never seen anything like that. And then after that podcast, we had him on. It's like, all right, well, I've been on the eye, like just looking out everywhere. And, I mean, nowhere in the U.S. have I seen anything like that until I came across your guys' Facebook page.
Oh, that's cool, man. I'm glad to hear that. That makes me happy.
No, that's the cool thing about doing the show is that like we get to, I guess, get to be like on the edge of like all of, like the cutting new technology that's like being used in like the restaurant industry.
Yeah.
So it's really cool, and then obviously you got to be on the lookout for it. So
yeah. You guys watch like Food Network and things like that, being in your business?
A little bit. We don't really watch like much TV in general, so we don't get the chance to. But when we do, I like watching what is it, Cooking with Babish.
Yeah,
I watch that sometimes in some like YouTube videos, but I don't really watch too much of the actual like TV shows.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do not, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't have cable anymore. Actually, I don't even have time to watch it. But I had there's an Iron Chef called Iron Chef Morimoto. He's one of the original Iron Chefs.
Okay.
And he made me sushi one night for 2 hours in Hawaii, and that was my claim to fame with that one. It like melted in your mouth. And then there's a chef called Robert Irvine. Kind of like a bodybuilder. He's got the bar rescue show. Okay. John Tapper's got one, and Robert Irvine has one. And so last year in Vegas, he's got this new vodka, and I saw him at a bar, and we just drank for like 3 hours straight. Because I eat his protein bars, and so I was harassing him about I pay all his bills buying his vodka and his protein bars, and he should thank me for it. Yeah, so I'm a big foodie too, man. I love going to new places and trying new foods, and I mean, as I get older, I was married for 19 years, and I was not allowed to cook. Even on the grill, even a steak. She didn't think I cooked a good steak, so I didn't cook anything, right?
Wow.
So when I got divorced 4.5 years ago, I bought an air fryer, and man, I've become like this mini chef. Yeah, I mean, it's good. I like cooking now.
Air fryers are awesome.
Yeah, you know what though? I can't give myself too much credit because you could probably be the worst cook in the world, and you put something in an air fryer, it tastes good. You know, with technology.
That's how I feel. You just throw something in, and you're like,
yeah. 6 minutes later, yeah.
I'm a chef now.
Yeah, we're pretty big foodies too. I think we've tried just about every restaurant in Toledo at this point. Well, not everyone, because there's a lot, but like everyone, like, you know, downtown Adams Street, within this little vicinity. And I mean, we have some good food around here.
Yeah, we have great restaurants.
Yep.
Emosteria's great restaurant. Yep. Soup's great restaurant. Yeah.
Dirty Bird's brunch, really good. The Heights brunch.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, we're going to be adding brunch too. I forgot to tell you guys that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we don't know when yet. We're just working on like the menu items, hopefully in the next few weeks. And then on Sunday nights, we're going to do industry night. So any bartender or anybody in this service industry, restaurant business, can come and get discounts on their stuff that night on Sundays. So
that's awesome.
That'd be fun, yeah. Give a place for all the people in the industry to hang out, right?
Yeah, right now, I mean, I got to say Heights is the best brunch. So if you're ever looking for like a little inspiration.
Yeah, Heights brunch. What do you like about it?
Oh man, I mean, they got 5 different kind of Benedicts, right?
Yep, we're big Benedict guys.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And a killer Bloody Mary. Like this thing is top notch. Like if you like a little spice, that's where it's at.
How much is the brunch over there? Like 25?
Pretty affordable. Yeah,
it's about 18 to 20, depending on what you get. Bloody Marys are about 11.
It's on Sundays from what time?
Saturday and Sunday from open till 2 p.m.
10 to 2, I believe.
10 to 2.
Yeah.
I gotta go try that out.
Oh yeah, definitely. Tell John we sent you.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll probably see you guys there.
Yeah, we go there pretty often. Yeah, their brunch is some of the best in town. Like for me, it's definitely a good Eggs Benedict and a good Bloody Mary is what like takes it home every time.
Cool. Yeah. Great. Man, that sounds good. I'm hungry. I've never been on a show before where I get out and I'm so hungry. Right.
We say that every time because we're always talking. We always get to a point where it's like a lot of like food oriented. Then Frank and I just look at each other like we could definitely eat right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Love it.
Bringing it back now. So if you weren't doing this currently, what do you think you would be doing if you weren't operating Firefly?
I think I would be on a beach.
Okay. Good answer.
Yeah, I think that's where I would be. Yeah.
I love it. And then also kind of bringing it back, where did the name Firefly come from? I don't think we ever like talked about that.
We went through like 4 different name changes.
Okay.
For one reason or another, the partners either didn't agree on it, or we couldn't do it because someone had it trademarked, or so we started thinking of different names that we could use bright colors with it, and so we came up with Firefly, and then the coolest thing is we went on a website called 99designs.com. And I don't mind plugging this thing because we paid, I think it was $600. And then they ask you a bunch of questions. What vibe do you want? What crowd do you want? What age do you want? What's the vibe? What's the food? What's the drink? So they ask you all these questions, and then they send the press release out to all of their artists, graphic designers from around the world. And then, so for the next 3 weeks to a month, you're just getting flooded every day with 20 to 50 logos from artists from all over this world trying to, because they get half of what you pay.
Yeah.
So if I pay $600, they get 300, and then 99 Designs, I think it's 300. I think that's how it worked. Some of these people are from really poor countries, and so for them to make $300, so we chose this guy. He's actually from some really small village in India, and he's came up with our logo on 99 Designs.
Really?
So I always my dream is that we do so well here and make so much money that I can actually fly him from India to here so he can come see the logo he created, because we're very thankful. What a great design that is. And our sign out front, the Firefly tail, lights up any different color, like St. Patty's Day weekend, and that week we had it green the whole time, and so it can strobe different colors throughout the night when the dancing gets going. That's kind of what we do.
That's so awesome that you want to bring him here and kind of have him see what's come of his logo and everything.
Yeah, and that's probably more money than that guy makes in 2-3 months or something. So I'm actually so happy that we chose that guy.
That's awesome.
That's crazy. 99 Designs?
Yeah.
Okay. I've never heard of it, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
usually when we need a logo, we just look right here to our right.
Well, he's the man, huh? The logo man?
He's our designer for our software.
I think everything on here he designed. Except for these two.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
House, Creators Club. Yeah,
well, listen, he's good.
So if somebody's coming in for the first time and they're getting a drink and a dish, what are you recommending?
Well, it depends what they like. We have different craft beers in here, and they're all local. Okay. We have one from Ernest Brewery that everyone loves, Crunchy Hippie. It's like the beer that people just tend to love that beer for some reason. So, and we wanted to carry all local, like in this area, craft beers, because we want to support, like all of our glassware we got from Libby Glass just down the road.
Yep.
So we want to support local. And so I don't know if it's the bourbon, we have the bourbon drink, the 1857. If you like bourbon, if you like margaritas, we've got the margarita that our mixologist came up with that turns different colors with the buzz button. We've got, everything we have is really, we've got great wines. We've got wines that are middle of the road to really high end wines. So we have like a really good selection of things here. And then for food, I guess for the first time, I would say that the Philly steak and cheese fire sticks with the beer cheese, because but it's all so wonderful. But that's the one I think that everyone is like, wow, the flavors in that, and
Right.
But I'm a big fan of our flatbread pizzas because they're super, super thin. Mm-hmm. They're like almost 2 paper plates put together. People always say, man, I didn't expect it to be this thin. It's so delicious and crunchy. Oh, I'm going to get fat. I'm going to get fat. That's all it is. Listen.
It'd be so hard to be around the food and the drinks every day. We've tried a decent amount of like bourbons alone, and like I couldn't imagine getting new shipments every week and trying new stuff, and it'd be hard not to gain a few pounds.
Yeah, I know. And it's like a kid in a candy store when our liquor shipments come in. I see all these bottles of bourbon. I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome.
We actually just had a great one recently. Chicken Cock Whiskey. They were on our podcast. The owner, he's been in 30 to 40 different like management level positions, and he does a lot of consulting on the industry. And this whiskey is like
straight out of Louisville, Kentucky.
Straight out of Louisville. It's about $75 a bottle, but it is phenomenal.
High-end stuff?
It's like some of the best, if not the best whiskey I've ever had.
Wow.
Specifically their straight bourbon. We got to try their rye and their straight bourbon.
Yep.
I would say that's the best bourbon I've ever had.
Wow, really?
Yep. If you're ever thinking like, hey, I want something new, crazy to try, that's
I gotta try that.
It's a top-notch one.
Do you like ice in it or no ice?
I go either way. If I'm drinking it on the podcast, usually when we just try it, I'll get a half a glass, no ice. But if I'm out for the night, I'll get rocks on it.
Yeah.
So
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
It just depends for me. Like last night I had wild turkey rare breed.
Mm-hmm. He actually, the guy from Chicken Cock actually helped the founders of Wild Turkey develop their product.
Oh yeah.
So
I like that rare breed. It's good.
Yeah.
I like all like the top end bourbons, you know.
Yep.
And so like last night I didn't have ice. I just had the rare breed. But if it's something maybe a little stronger that holds up to the ice, needs maybe a little bit of ice, then I'll use some ice. But yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's funny that you mentioned Wild Turkey because we actually talked about that with him on the last podcast.
Yeah. Oh, cool. See, great minds think alike.
Yeah, exactly.
Great drinkers think alike.
Absolutely.
Great saying.
No, man, like it's crazy. Like, I mean, when we're doing like all the remote podcasts and we get in touch with like distilleries or breweries, we usually have some sort of way of trying their products. So that's a really great part. And, you know, if you're ever looking for reviews or anything, feel free to check out the podcast. Everyone else, if you're looking for whiskeys, we've done I think 6 distilleries now, so we always try the products on the show, and it's always a good time.
Oh, cool. Well, I'll have you guys come in and sample the Philly cheesesteak fire sticks.
We're not going to say no to that.
Yeah, you can't say no to that.
And you guys can give me your review. Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, 2 things we're good at is testing out food and drinks.
Hey, love it. We got plenty of both.
All right.
So if you're not at Firefly, what other bar or restaurant would you recommend here in town?
Well, like I said before, I love Souk. Souk is it's great. Musa, the owner, is a really good friend of mine, and my partners, and so we go in there all the time, and he comes over here, and so they have great food, great service. The manager Katie there, she's great. I like M. Osteria, Pat Giamarco, owner of Marco's Pizza, owns that. And that's another classy place with great food. And, you know, Pat's a great businessman, and we go visit him too. Bill, one of the owners of Blarney, is a good friend of ours. So we're at Blarney maybe 2-3 days a week. We like to go around and support people. If you want something fun and some really good Cuban food, Carlos Poco Loco is amazing. Yep.
Phenomenal.
I love that. I can't wait till Poco Piatti opens up downtown again, because that's right where I live, and I would go there for dinner like 3-4 nights a week, and I miss their mushrooms and steak. But those are some of the good ones around here. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
it's hard to
go wrong with any of those.
It's hard to beat the taco food truck right across from Tin Can too. Sometimes.
Well, you know what they used to own. They used to, you know where Poco Piatti's at on Huron downtown, even though it's been closed since COVID. Mm-hmm. Before that, it was called Cilantro's like 4 years ago, and the family opened up Cilantro's and didn't get their liquor license, so they had great Mexican food. I mean, phenomenal Mexican food, but they shut down because who wants to go eat Mexican food while drinking margaritas or alcohol or something, right? That's the fun of Mexican food most times. Yeah. So they closed that down, and then now they own that taco truck, and they have great food in there.
Don't want to hype it up too much, but it's maybe the best tacos like I've had anywhere ever. Yeah, like their tacos are phenomenal.
Yeah, great tacos. And Manhattan's, I forgot to say Manhattan's too. That's a great place. They got these cheese curds that are amazing. They're like straight from Wisconsin or something, and they're just crazy good.
Do you know Zach Leahy then?
Zach? Oh, yeah.
Yep, the owner of Manhattan's. Yeah, he's a great guy. We had interviewed him a few months back, and he's had a pretty crazy story as well.
Yeah. It's a cool place. They got a good vibe over there. I like when they bring in like jazz bands and stuff, and you just sit back, have a drink, listen to some jazz.
Yep. Bourbon and poutine's nice there.
Oh, yeah. I love the poutine there.
Yep.
No, it's crazy. Like, we've been to all these places, and it's cool that you could have like the other side of that, where you get to like have these relationships with like their owners and all that cool stuff. So,
and I will tell you this: the owners downtown of bars and restaurants have been the most welcoming group of people. I mean, we've had calls from Dirty Bird and Blarney and Frickers and everyone saying, "Hey, if you ever run out of this, call us. We'll bring it down. If you ever need this, call us." I mean, they've been so supportive, and I get that. Part of it is that they want new businesses downtown. They want people. They want to bring people downtown. And the other part is they just want to support each other and support local businesses. And they're not, I like the fact that in other cities you might have restaurants competing with one another and not liking each other and making a bad reviews or whatever they do. But here it's really been a really big family downtown Toledo. So we are really thankful for the support from the surrounding restaurants and bars.
That's the vibe we've gotten from everyone we talk to. It's just like community focused, like good Midwest vibes.
Everyone's friends.
Yep.
Everyone's friends.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Do you know if that's how it is like out in Vegas? Or
no, it's a little more cutthroat out there. Yeah, around here it's cool because we got hashtag 419 or Toledo 419 or and so it's been that local community thing for a while, and a lot of cities don't have that hashtag in their area code down there, and so I think that's pretty cool that Toledo has so much pride.
I agree.
I think Firefly is a pretty big stepping stone here. I think hopefully we're going to start feeling more of that big city vibe coming soon. I mean, there's a lot of big things coming in. I know Bitwise is a tech company. Mm-hmm. They're going to be coming in here in the next couple of years.
The residential units right down the road right there. There's 60-something of those coming and 13 more storefronts.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome. And
downtown's going to be rocking.
Yeah, I mean, we got voted number 1 for middle-sized cities for new development. So that's pretty wild because I know there's like over $500 million getting thrown back into the city, which is awesome.
I see all the upgrades they're doing to the Seagate and to in front of on Summit Street there, and then the Mud Hens are going to get back to going. We're going to have some concerts coming again. Yep. Then the women's golf tournament, the Solheim Cup, is coming. I think it's August or September. 100,000 Europeans they're expecting here for that thing. So, I mean, it's going to be a great summer. Yeah.
It's going to be hard to get in here.
It's going to be, yeah. And, that's the other thing. That's the other bad thing about, if I had to pick a bad thing, is that people get mad when they come here and there's a 2-hour wait. And my daughter, she's the hostess, and to poor her, she always feels so bad. These people are like, 2-hour wait, that's ridiculous. And I'm like, get here when we open. That's all I can tell you,
Yeah.
So...
What's one life lesson or piece of advice you would give to somebody, not necessarily that's starting a bar, but just in general?
Just be kind to everyone and don't fight. That is my biggest thing. When I owned my home care company, if you crossed me, I would fight you. I mean, not physically.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes, but I try not to do that kind of stuff anymore. I'm calm in my older age, but I used to fight. I used to want to fight. If somebody would do something wrong to me or say something behind my back, or if I knew I was right, I would dig in my heels and I would take my stance and I would fight until my point was proven, no matter if it lost me business, which it did many times. And right now, I just give hugs. When people make me mad, I smile, I shake hands, I don't fight any, and that probably goes for relationships too. If anyone's out there listening, just give in. It's not worth it. Just say I'm sorry, even when it's not your fault. And in business, that goes a long way, especially with employees. If you're checking on them all night and just giving hugs and loving everyone, there's no reason for anybody to hate you.
Yeah.
So, and no fighting, no quarreling, and it's a lot less stress on you.
Yep. What was your change of heart going from, bull to, I guess, bear?
The results were just, they weren't working for me in life in general, and plus after my divorce, I live on the rooftop of one of the big buildings down here, and I have a private deck on the rooftop, and the wind up there is crazy. It's blowing constantly, day and night. It's flowing through my apartment with papers blowing all over the place, and it's so calming. And I think that I had to learn how to find peace in business and relationships, and I the results of that are amazing. You're not fighting with anyone. You're not, it's good. We're all on our journey, and we all have our own lessons, but especially in business, just don't fight with anybody.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
How has the social media aspects been for Firefly?
Awesome. Yeah.
Only positive?
Yeah, only positive.
I mean, I can imagine you see one of those drinks with the foam gun, what is that called? The smoke gun?
Yeah. What's cool is, like, when I get on Facebook, I'll see all these people I don't know on there. Firefly is lit. Firefly is this. The drinks, the food. I mean, they're tagging, and I'm like, man, this is crazy. Like, we expected to be busy, but we didn't expect this much support. Which, again, we're eternally grateful. I'm glad we're not sitting here and I'm saying, hey guys, I gotta go because I can't pay the rent and there's 5 people showed up last Saturday. Right. These are good problems to have with it being crowded in here. Except the only bad thing about that is I hate wearing masks, and I get that COVID's a real thing. I can't wait till it's over. I know a lot of people have died from it, and but the thing is, like in business, you want to smile at people, and you want them to see your face when you smile. It's like that one-on-one connection, the personal touch when you can see someone smile. And we have these masks, and it's so impersonal. And so I had to do something I never thought I would do in my life. I didn't even want to wear this darn mask, let alone walk up to people and say, if you're standing, can I have you wear your mask, please? Yeah. And I always tell them, I hate it too, man. I'm sorry to, I don't mean to be a mood breaker, but everyone understands. It is what it is. And we got the plastic dividers up, we got the hand sanitizer, and we, practice the social distancing, and we're trying to do our part to make everyone feel safe, but I can't wait till this crap is done. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Yep.
I think we're all in the same.
Yeah, I think we're all in the same. When we have meeting with clients, we try to make them in person, but a lot of people still like, the Zoom, because it is a lot better to see the person, talk to the person, because over Zoom or, with mask on and everything, it's just so hard to get that actual, social interaction.
Yeah. Plus, what I find ridiculous is, I'm not sure if you guys agree with this or not, I can walk up to you, you're sitting at the bar, you don't have a mask on, because if you're sitting, you don't have to have a mask. Yeah. So I'm standing next to you talking, and I have a mask on. The minute I sit next to you on the other bar stool, I can take my mask off. Silence, right? I know. Crickets. It doesn't make sense to me. But again, the government says do it. We do it. We're following all the rules because we don't want to be one of those places. We have not been written up. We have not been, and they've been out here.
The fines get pretty crazy. I know some bars in downtown Cleveland that have gotten $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 fines. Yeah. A lot of them just say, screw it, which isn't a good thing, but I know a lot of them do because they're like, we'll just take the fines.
Well, there's a couple bars in downtown Toledo that hold that stance, not mentioning any names, but they hold the stance like, you know what, you're going to give us a $500 fine, but we're going to make $15,000 tonight, and we'll pay the $500 fine. Yep. So, but our stance is, listen, we're brand new. We want people to know that we're socially responsible and that we care and that we want to protect people from this thing, so we're going to follow the rules, whether we like it or not.
Yep. You're a law-abiding organization.
Yes. I don't like it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like being law-abiding, but I just don't like the whole mask thing. But again, it's another growth thing that I went through just recently because at first, when we first opened, I kept saying to everyone, I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not wearing a mask. And then we opened and I wore a mask.
Yep.
Yeah, so you just got to do what you got to do to make people feel comfortable and obey the rules. That's all.
Yep. Understandable.
And we want to open 3 to 4 more in the next 5 years.
Locations?
So we want like cool cities too, like not around here, but just cool cities outside of here. So we're in the talks. So stay tuned for that. You never know what's going to happen there.
Okay.
Can you name drop a location?
Like one of the places that I haven't really spoke to my partners about this, but one of my favorite places to go hang out is in downtown Indy. They've got that like covered section down there. I don't know. Have you ever been down to?
I have not.
Man,
I actually haven't.
It's like this downtown, only that it's covered. They have ceilings. You're walking under ceilings on the roads downtown, and there's all these cool bars. And I just love. So I think it would be cool to put one there.
Sounds like it'd be awesome.
I hate traveling to and from, but I think Chicago would be good. That's the place. The traffic's horrible.
Brutal.
Yeah. Yes, but that would be a cool place to have Firefly,
Yeah, definitely.
So, places. We just want everyone to have fun and have some good food and drinks and dance and enjoy and mingle.
Yeah. Have you guys put any thought into how you're going to revamp your menu or how often you're going to change up your drink menu?
Yeah, so we've been adding like 1 new cocktail per week. So we only do like 4 in any given day just because it's so much work to make these things. Yeah. So our mixologists will come in like 3 hours before we open and just start making batches and batches and batches so they're fresh that day. But you can't do that for every drink. So like last week he added a new drink that was our St. Patty's Day. It was a green craft cocktail and everyone liked that. And he puts crazy stuff in these drinks. He puts these bubbles that are full of apple juice, green apple or something. And then he puts bee pollen on the side of the drinks with the sugar. And so there's big chunks of bee pollen, so it tastes sweet. And then it's just crazy stuff that you don't even think of ingesting that he puts on every time he comes with a new drink. I'm like, where the heck do you get bee pollen? You own a bee colony at your house? Like,
That's hilarious.
Where did you find this dude?
He was at a really upscale place in Columbus.
Okay.
So yeah, he moved here, and so yeah, it's cool to see his work.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Jesus. And your food menu?
Food, we're probably going to add one new thing every couple weeks to that. Like right now, we don't have any desserts, so we're thinking about adding a couple just fun desserts. Like even do our egg rolls with s'mores and chocolate inside, and things like we were thinking that we might do a peanut butter and jelly egg roll, so that's like dripping with hot peanut butter and jelly when you take it out of the air fryer. And that'd be good if you had a couple beers and you were hungry walking downtown at 10 o'clock at night.
No doubt.
You could get a box of those peanut butter and jelly egg rolls, fire sticks.
The bread pudding's always a town favorite too.
Yeah. I love bread pudding.
Yep. Dirty Bird across the street. Theirs is really good. I don't know if you've had their maple bacon bread pudding.
No, I haven't. No.
It's phenomenal.
It's top tier.
Maple bacon. It's deep fried too.
Oh God.
If you ever get a chance, I would definitely recommend trying.
Well, there's an extra 5 pounds, but I'll definitely try.
It's huge. Like I'd recommend sharing it with somebody, but if you're hungry enough, I've ate one by myself before.
Well, listen, if I'm going to breakfast with anyone, it's usually some girl I'm dating or something. And if it's really good breakfast, and she's not getting a bite of mine. No way. I like food too darn much, okay? When we're together over a year, I'll start sharing my food. Until then, you get yours, I'll get mine.
Yep, I feel that.
That's the only way to do it.
So you've been to a lot of different places. You've done a lot of stuff. What would you say is the most thrill-seeking thing you've ever done throughout your time?
Jumping out of airplanes in the Army was kind of crazy because what people don't realize is, and I've always been a big guy anyway, I'm 260 pounds. In the military, in the movies, when you're watching people jump out of planes, it's called like Hollywood dives. So they jump out of the planes and they got these toggles and they can steer. And then when they're about to land, they pull up on the toggles and then they land on their feet and everything went great. And they do have those parachutes and they do exist. But in the Army, first of all, you're not jumping from 10,000 feet or 3,000 feet. You're jumping from, say, 700 feet. Only 700 feet. And then on top of it, your parachute, there's a third of it that's cut out. And either one of you guess why they do that? Well,
so you're not in hang time.
Yeah. So that's why you're hitting the ground fast and hard because they don't want you getting shot up. They don't want you hanging there forever. A target hanging. Hello, Yeah. So that was great because the only 2 times I've on planet Earth in my 50 years the most 2 peaceful things I've ever done is jumping out of airplanes, because when you're up there alone, you don't hear, it's unbelievable the noise we have down here. Even when we think there's no noise, there's always some kind of humming noise from electricity or something, And so when you're up in the air floating in the parachute, it's so quiet. Same thing with scuba diving. You can't hear, it's just no sound. And so those are the 2 most peaceful things. It was peaceful until I broke my legs, by the way. That wasn't so peaceful. But we had 13 knot winds and we weren't supposed to be jumping. And they teach you how to land in airborne school. And so they actually have you jump off of a box, and then they drop you from 9 feet in the air. Then you got to jump off this 30-foot swing thing and land. Then you got a 250-foot tower they let you off of. And so they teach you how to roll and how to do that kind of stuff. We were the last group to go. We got we were on the tarmac by 6 a.m., but I was the last group, and it was 7 p.m. And there was a storm that had hit. We had 13 knot winds. And so one of our jump masters, I heard him talking to the other guys, we shouldn't be jumping these guys. And he's like, let's get them through, last group. And then half of us ended up in the hospital. Because when I left that plane, I was getting blown backwards, probably at 100 miles an hour. I had no idea what I was going to hit, when I was going to hit. There was no way I could even brace for what was going to happen. It was just so fast. And sometimes the wind's bad and it takes you a little this way or a little that way or a little. Never have I been. It's just you're helpless. So yeah. But it was worth it, man.
It sounds terrifying.
Oh no, dude! I'd do it all over again. It was awesome. It really was. My first jump in airborne school. They have a man, actually, the first guy jumping. They tell you stand in the door, and so you actually have to go the first man, your left foot is half hanging out of the plane. Then your arms are touching like the outside of the plane, and you're the first man, and you're like that for like a minute until that light turns from red to green and you get your rear end slapped by the guy and he kicks you out of the plane. But that's freaky because you're like looking and you're half hanging out this plane, and but when you're 20 years old, that's life right there, I'd never do that again. Not at my age.
What would you say is your hangover recipe?
Oh God, I always go to like really fattening cheeseburgers, like double Whoppers or a lot of Gatorade Zero. Yeah, I know. I'm not trying to give advice out there for people to drink more, but Gatorade Zero will save your life, especially those little ones. And so I try and take a drink, like if I have a glass of whiskey, and then I try to do a Gatorade Zero or water in between. Yeah. So that cuts down the hangover right there. But then the big fat juicy hamburger, double Whoppers from Burger King or quarter pounder cheese or whatever, I always go to that like greasy stuff.
Those are always good.
Five Guys, yeah.
Five Guys, that's a lot of grease, but a lot of goodness.
Yeah,
the fries are fire.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
It's Cajun fries. Yeah, you can't beat those.
Yeah,
those are real nice. What would you say is your favorite hometown restaurant?
That's a tough one.
Yeah,
because I like going to like little hot dog places like Rudy's Hot Dog, to Chop House. I'm there all the time too. And I love all food. There's a place out on Detroit Avenue right into Michigan called Angela's Northwood Villa. Okay. It was actually an old mafia stop. And when you walk in, it looks like you're walking into the Goodfellas movie. And the food is freaking amazing. And they used to be packed. They still are packed on Fridays and Saturdays, but they had a guy playing the piano when you walked in. His name was Rick. I'd be shocked if he was alive still, because he was probably 75 then, and this was like 20 years ago. But you'd walk in and he's playing the piano, and you wave to him, and he waves at you with both hands with the piano still playing. He wasn't really playing it. It was like fake. And he sat there the whole night acting like he was playing the piano.
Really?
Which was hilarious. Yeah, but everyone would tip him and stuff. And hey, how you doing? The piano's still playing. So, but they have great food over there. So yeah, that's like an old staple over there, Angela's Northwood Villa. So they have great food still.
Heck yeah.
That's fucking awesome. Well, do you have any questions for us?
I don't know. I mean, when you're going to get over here and have a few drinks with me and talk about the beaches in Sarasota. I know what happens in Sarasota stays in Sarasota. But we're going to close down the mics and have a drink, and then I'm going to find out what happened on that white beach in Sarasota.
Yeah, I definitely got some stories off mic.
Okay, well, I'll take you up on that.
Geoff Scott, it's been a pleasure, man.
Hey, guys, thanks. I had a great time with your show, and you guys are very, very professional and good at what you do, and I appreciate you having me on.
Sweet, appreciate it. Last thing, where can people find you on socials?
So we are on Facebook, Firefly Toledo, and then our website is fireflytoledo.com.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All right, After Hours Nation, we hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to stay updated, you can check out our site at afterhourscast.com. Don't forget to tune in next Tuesday morning for our next episode. After Hours Nation, stay thirsty, my friends.